Lots of people wait till they're adults to start businesses. In this video, I'm going to tell you why you need to start a business now. And it's not for the reason you might think. It's not to be cocky and flex our mega millions. It is for an actual reason. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Big X. I cover everything from business to personal development. I'm trying to upload every single day for the next month or so. So hit subscribe so you don't miss any videos. As a teenager, you may be thinking about your future and what to do with your life. Let me tell you, the best decision you can make is to start a business right now. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so let's get straight into the video. People have this idea that they should wait till they're an adult to start a business, but I think that's totally wrong. The reason I like the idea of starting a business when you're young is because, in my opinion, these are the deciding years of your life. These years decide if you ever have to work a 9-to-5 job. Hear me out. If you start a business when you're 17, it doesn't take off, but by the time you're 20, you've at least built up maybe $70,000. That is totally realistic. Whereas if you're 17 now and you spend 3 years partying, maybe making $5-10K a year, at 20 years old, you're only left with $20,000. That is nowhere near enough to go out and live by yourself. So what do you have to do? You have to take on a 9-to-5 job to just pay the bills. Whereas if you had started the business, you have $70,000-80,000 saved, you have a lot of financial security, and you can afford to take risks, which can compound into making you a lot more money. There's virtually no risk when starting a business at a young age. You don't have expenses, you don't have much responsibilities. You can focus purely on the business, and if anything does go wrong, it's not going to affect your life in a bad way in the long term. Whereas if you started a business and you're 20 and it goes to crap, well, now you are really in trouble, especially if you start to get into debt. If you're not on the track to making real money by the time you're 18, 19, you are going to get stuck in the matrix. One of the biggest benefits is it actually gives you a chance to get rich. The goal of starting a business at a young age is not to get rich straight away. At least if you have a business, at least you have the potential to get rich. Whereas if you're working for $10 an hour in a kitchen, there's just no chance at all you're ever going to get rich. I have another video about how to start a business and it goes more in depth on this, but the advantage you have when you're young is you can leverage your age. Lots of people will give you an opportunity and you have the opportunity to reach a unique market when you are younger. Setting up the foundations for your future young is the best investment you can ever make. It's simple. If you're 17 and you lose $20,000, you go back to zero, that's okay. Now you're 18 years old, you can start up again. You're still living at home. There's no real expenses or responsibilities. Versus if you're 20, the business goes to crap, you go back down to zero. Now all of a sudden you start collecting debt because you're paying rent, electricity, and now you're in real trouble. You might even have to move back into home or couch surf for a while. This is why lots of entrepreneurs have stories of like being homeless at the start and that sort of thing, because they've started when they're like 20 years old. You start at 17, you skip all this partying crap. It's fun and all your friends are doing it, but it doesn't really help you in the long term, even one little bit. In fact, it probably damages you in the long term because you're damaging your reputation. People aren't going to take you seriously when you do want to start a business. And that's the most important thing if you don't have any testimonials or reviews, is people know who you are as a person and they do take you seriously and respect you. For example, with me, I'm fully aware I'm not going to make millions of dollars in the next couple years, but I know I can at least make a couple $100,000 and get to the point where I'm 100% financially secure by the time I'm, maybe 20. Many young entrepreneurs face the challenges of money. If you are starting a service, it takes basically no overhead costs at all, especially if you're looking at online side hustles. I mean, just take one look at YouTube. There are countless videos of side hustles. All it takes is for you to actually do one, put your mind to it for a few months, work really hard on it, expect zero results, and the results will start to come. You need to look at your first business ventures as stepping stones where you learn skills which will eventually help you start much bigger, more successful businesses in the future. At the very least, you want to be able to afford your own car. When your friends go shopping, you want to be able to shop with them. At the very least, you want to have some sort of money for this. It would be great if you could save some money, and saving money is a skill in itself, but it's more about the skills that you learn. For example, you make $10,000 on one business venture, you lose $8,000 on the next business venture. You think, oh, well, I spent all this time, I only have $2,000. Now you know how to start a successful business and how to avoid creating a business that doesn't work, right? Because you have a successful one and a non-successful one. It's the skills, it's not the money. I just wanted to touch on this topic briefly. I think sort of at the start, I think that really looks at the whole sort of problem, which is these are the deciding years. These years decide if you will be a businessman forever or if you're going to have to work a 9-to-5 plus a business at the same time. The reality is, to grow a business full-time, you already need to have money to pay the bills. The best way to do this, start when you're young and you don't have bills to pay. You can save up all the money you make, Or at the very least, if you're not a very good saver, at least you have a lot of skills so you can go out and you can start a new business. I think that's going to be it for this video. If you would like a more in-depth video about this, let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Obviously, it's a new channel. I need to build up some traction in the algorithm. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.